Becoming an entrepreneur, getting customers, growing your business. How do you do it? You're about to learn everything you need to know to make your dreams a reality. If you're an entrepreneur, stay, chat, and get to know how to become successful in the cleaning world. Our company provides a wide range of services that include pressure washing, auto detailing, solar panel cleaning, and window cleaning. Now, proudly coming to you live from sunny California. Welcome to the AM Pressure Washing Podcast. Here's your host, Mark Sullins.
Hello, everybody. How is it going? Happy Wednesday to all of you. Well, as you can notice in the background, we are almost 100% ready to fire up this pressure washer. I have Mr. Jody Durham, my electrician. Wave hi, Jody. So he's literally wiring in the control panel as we speak. So today you get a live feed of our electrician in here wiring up this truck. So to give you a little update, this past weekend, got the generator installed, got everything up and going on it, had to do a little bit of programming with it, a little bit of modifications to it since the last time I worked on it, but it is installed, running, and the last thing we have left is Mr. Jody. So when Jody gets done with all the electricity, we'll fire up all the pressure washers, make sure we got power to everything. And then the last thing that's got to go in there is right behind his big head is the water tank. So the water tank's already prepped. All we got to do is just slide it in, hook up the hoses, put some water in the tank, and we can prime all of our hoses, all the pressure hoses. And this truck is done. It's been a long journey on this sucker. So all of you that's been following me, I just did a recap. It was funny that yesterday was 1 year ago that I started building this bed and starting to put all this truck together. So the flashback of that video, you see me doing everything in the slow motion.
A message has been received.
And everybody's hollering at me. So you see me do a fast motion as everything was being built. But now you see where it's at today. So who do we have on here? Stephanie Malaya. Thanks for fixing up my hose this past week, Mark. No problem, Stephanie. And that's all we've got on right now. So if you guys got anything to say or anything you want to talk about, hit the chat box. If you want to talk to me live, I'm going to put in my number right now. You can go live. I got everything set up right here so you can talk live to me and ask questions or go over anything, or you can type in the chat box. So from last week, we had a little bit of snafus at the very beginning of the show, and we got all that figured out and got dialed in, got back in touch with you. But I want to recap of last week. So Solar Diamond Cleaning, Ray out of Palm Springs, he just sent me a picture of where he installed 2 fire extinguishers, one at the inside of the rear of the trailer and one on the front of the trailer. So you remember I had a customer last week that trailer completely burnt down. He thought, Ulysses, my broker that takes care of all of my insurance, he thought his business insurance took care of his trailer. Well, people, it does not. That just takes care of your business for your liability when you're out on a job site and to take care of the customer. You have to have vehicle or insurance on your trailer or your equipment, period. That was a major hit for him. He lost about $20,000+ in that fire. And it all could have been resolved with a fire extinguisher and only cost him a few dollars instead of the whole system. But shout out to Ray. Smart guy. He's already got his fire extinguishers. And trust me, when this truck is done, I'm going to have one on each side on the back of these pressure washers. And plus, I'll have one behind the driver's seat inside the cab. I'll have 3 on this truck. We got 2 pressure washers with 2 burners. You never know what's going to happen. But fire extinguishers are a must on all your equipment. So think smart, be smart, and go out and spend $20 for a fire extinguisher. It could save you $20,000. Get that fire extinguisher. Edward Eubanks, my man from Realcraft. What's he have to say? Glad it's coming to fruition. Truck looks great. Fruition, Fruition. Either I'm a goofy boy from Alabama that don't know what that word means, or he typoed. Kevin, maybe I'm a dumb boy from Alabama. Terry Lynn, my girl, what's going on, Terry Lynn? All right. What else can we talk about today? The gentleman that was supposed to be on the show today, Mr. Devious from Riverside, Devious Customs, Jeff Davis, a close friend of mine, and he's the one that does a lot of the fabricating. He's the one that did all the painting on this truck and some fabricating on this truck. And he also builds all the aluminum decks back there in the background for all these skids that we build. But he was supposed to be on today. He had an emergency last night, and I actually got to talk to him a little while ago, and he's still dealing with that emergency. So he was not able to come in today. So today, you have lovely me. So since I never shut up talking, you get to listen to me all day. I ain't got nobody interrupting me in talking except for Jeff over here. And Jeff is trying to bow out right now. He's trying to get out of here. All right, Jeff. Thank you, everything. You sure you and Kellen don't want to join the podcast? Kalen's shaking his head no. The only person that's on the podcast against his will is Jody. He's back here smiling right now because he has no option. All right. So last week, or not last week, it's been a few weeks. I've been talking about a pressure washer. It is going to replace gas engines. Kayla, tell Jeff to lock that door. So I had to sign an NDA. I can't talk about it. I can't even show you pictures of what's going on. But trust me, this is something that we've been working on for a long time. And in about 3 weeks, I will have the prototype in here. I'm going to start building, mounting, and installing on my current skid. So once I get this in here and we get all of the preliminary modifications to the deck to where everything will bolt down, up and going, and then we start doing our videos and doing time trials and testing and everything else. Once we get everything done and we get a stock number on it and a price on it, I will start ordering these systems in bulk and putting them up in the rack behind me. And that way, this will be an option. You can either go electric or you can go gas. But I can't say who, what, where, when, or how because of the NDA. But once I get everything lifted up and we get a part number and a price on this system, and I get all the mods done to my deck so they bolt right on, we can talk about it. Not even talk about it. I'm going to have one in here, and I'm going to be showing it to you. Not only that, I'll be blowing it up on my social media, showing this system working. And from everything I see and everything that they have promised to me, it's state of the art. And this company has been around for the long time, but the engineer department that's working on this system is all brand new. So one of my customers in Florida referred me to this company, and they called me and did an interview with me. And I actually started sending them live feeds and videos and showing them what I do. And next thing you know, they were on a plane. And literally, I am the first person that's going to be doing this. They have one other company back east, but from what they told me, their company is not to my scale of the systems that we build, the 3.0, the 4.0, and the 5.0. But there's also going to be other systems as well, like these bad boys. Now, the ones right here at Jody's head with the smokestacks on them, those are 3-phase 230 volt pressure washers. The motors on these things are huge. No battery can run this type of motor, so we're still having to run this system with a generator that goes in from the rear end. It's on a slide out. So with this generator, it is a 20K PowerTech generator, energy efficient, and it's quiet. I had to go run my van today, and that van, I cranked up the pressure washer, and it's got a 4,000 PSI, 4 gallons per minute with a Power Ease engine. That Power Ease engine is almost 3 times the sound, the noise of this generator. This generator is so quiet, it's unreal. So literally, when you're out pressure washing with this truck, the only thing you're going to hear is the wand when you hit the trigger of the water blasting out of the wand. The motors, you probably won't even barely hear these motors. I haven't heard it yet, but you probably won't even barely hear them. So this is going to be a very quiet system that you can get into neighborhoods and not disturb, homeowners or business, and you won't get no complaints or a police coming up telling you shut your system down. A lot of stuff going on in the electrical world. There's a lot of people that I've been talking to over the past year and a half. I've been talking with China for 2 years on these trucks right here. They're telling me they were still 5 to 10 years out before they have a battery small enough and light enough to be able to get 300 miles at payload, whatever that truck's rated at payload, if it's 14,000, 20,000, whatever pounds that payload is, to be able to go 300 miles. So, and that's China talking to me. There is another company that has a truck like this. They have a van and then they have a truck. And supposedly that truck is able to get over 300 miles. I've never heard of them. I go to shows all the time. I've never seen that truck at a show yet. And it's here in the United States. And I have yet to see it in action and everything else. All I've seen is the writing on their site. But as far as documentation of proving it and everything else, I have not seen it yet. I'm not into the electrical world. I'm still an old combustion engine kind of guy, but whether we like it or not, that's where it's going. This truck, I designed this truck over 3 years ago. I started talking to Bill at PowerTech. He was my second electrical engineer that I talked to. The first one couldn't give me the numbers that I wanted of the right piece of equipment. And Bill was able to get me everything. So all the pressure washers that I'm working with, the vacuum system, the 2 single-phase 230 volt in between the 2 big ones, and the 3-phase 230 volt, the big ones with the burners. So with the numbers that we come up with on an electric pressure washer, with these 2 big pressure washers running with the burner on and the vacuum system to reclaim the water, I would have to have a 12K generator. Well, the next level up was the 15K that has the external radiator that gets more flow through there to keep your engine cool. It's more of a bigger commercial built radiator and generator, but it's small and compact. And when I was, hang on. Sorry about that, guys. Work never ends. Even though we're doing a podcast, I got Mr. Fernando Sanabria. I'm sure he needs a DI tank. But to be able to run all this equipment, I needed a 12K generator. So the one that he had was 15K, and he told me for $200 more I can get the 20K, and it's the same size, same dimension, same everything. Wave to everybody, Fernando. Hello, guys. He's an auto detailer, so he's over here robbing me for DI tanks. But I went ahead for $200 more. I got the 20K generator. So with the 20K generator, like if I got one guy running one of the little pressure washers that is spraying degreaser down, I got another guy running the big pressure washer with the burner running the surface cleaner over the degreaser, and then I got another guy running the other big pressure washer with the burner doing the rinse. I don't have to worry about flipping breakers. And that's why we got Jody in here right now. He's doing all the electrical, making sure I got the right breakers in and everything else, because we don't want no problems. So that's where we're at on that. This system right here is going to be a great system. I'm working with the state of California. I'm working with Sacramento right now to take this truck up and show it to them. And all the head honchos with Caltrans and everybody else that keeps the city streets clean and everything else, this may be a marketable truck. And if anybody is looking for a truck like this, it's not cheap, but I just had a gentleman call me right before this podcast, and he's interested in this truck, but I told him the price, and he very much winced, because you don't realize how much is in this truck. This is about $250,000 truck, guys, whether you believe it or not. Just the truck alone, bare bone truck with chassis, they're going for over $75,000 just for the truck. Now, you're not including all the equipment. This equipment is not cheap. Everything on there is electric motors, electric, everything. When you mention electric, everybody knows it's not cheap. All the hose reels are electric. Shout out to Real Craft. Kevin Eubanks, you're watching right now. So the bed alone in material, the time, the hours to build this thing is crazy. Painting, all the electrical that went into the bed, backup cameras. There's so much to this truck that it's a long list if I go over it, but it's a very expensive truck. Not, every Joe Blow can buy one of these. But if you work and save your money, like I tell everybody, every $100 you spend, you only made 70. You put $30 back. You keep doing that, and you can keep growing your equipment to where you can keep getting stuff until you get to something like this. I did it until I got to my black truck. And when I got to my black truck, I said, that's it. All that money I've been, saving over the years trying to get to that level, I got there with that black truck. Well, needless to say, somebody wanted it more than I did. And it lives in Gilroy now. But that put me in a bind because I had this truck on the back burner. I just couldn't afford it. And when I sold that truck, I was able to afford to start building this truck. But it took me a while to build it. I got it started, got the bed built, started getting all the equipment and everything else. And everybody keeps hitting me up. Turn my volume down. Yeah. All right. And everybody's kept hitting me up on like the black truck and everything else, but I've been thinking about this one for a while so I could afford it, and I started doing all the engineering and everything else, and now you see it's behind me. The van, in between starting this one, I also built a little Ford Transit Connect van, the one that you guys seen, and it's literally parked outside. I just used it today and went and seen a close friend of mine. He's in the TV land. So I went and seen my buddy at his house, and I actually got to fire the system up and run it. I haven't run it in a while. I've been busy doing bills and everything. But more to come. If you guys have questions, give me a shout out. If you like what you're seeing, always remember to give me thumbs up, during the podcast. If you got something you want to talk about, put it in a chat box or give me a call. I would be more than glad to go live with you right now and listen to what you got to say. If it don't get too busy, we may not be on the podcast alone today. I know Jody's probably needing some help with me running wires and everything else, but I don't know. He's over there hiding, working on something. So, trying to think what else we got going on. Insurance. Ulysses is going to come in and talk to you guys. He's my broker. I just talked to him yesterday, but he said give him a few more weeks until his daughter's out of school because the time that we're doing the podcast at 3:00 doesn't work for Ulysses. So he is going to come in. He's going to talk to everybody. He's going to go over insurance with everybody. Now, he helps my customers out nationwide, but he can only do insurance with you if you're in the state of California. But he is more than willing to give you the information so you know what to ask for if you're out of state. And that way, when you do go to your insurance provider, you have all the information and you don't end up getting the wrong insurance or overpaying for something that you don't need. There was something else I want to talk to you guys about. Insurance, the fire. I'm getting old. I went blank. I lost my mind. God, there was another topic I want to talk to you. It'll come back to me. God, wow, I just had a brain lock. See what happens when you get old? Can't remember what it was. But at any rate, if you're in the neighborhood, if you want to talk to somebody, hi, Jennifer. If you want to come in and get on the podcast, you're more than welcome to. Jennifer, hi, Mark. I still need the insurance guy's info, please. Well, Jennifer, I will text that to you here in just a minute. I'll get off the podcast and I'll text it to you. The guests that we have other guests that we have coming in. I got a few other ones coming in that want to talk to you and everything. If you got anything you need, I'm going to get Eric across the way that does all of my logos and my shirts and everything else. I've got 2 different route people. I'm going to get them to come in and talk to you guys as far as your branding. A lot of people are doing the QR code. They put the QR code on their vehicle.
A message has been received.
And that way, as they're driving by, they can scan. Or if they're walking by your equipment, if somebody's in the neighborhood, they can scan your QR code real quick and have all your information. You're not old, you are experienced. Thank you, Kevin. Love you, brother. No, I am old. I just got a lot of things going on my mind, and I'm listening to Jody back here, and I want to be back there helping him. And I thought it was coming later this evening. I didn't know it was coming earlier today. So it's all good. We're getting it done. I can't wait to get this puppy fired up, videotape it, take some pictures, mainly video it, let you guys see this thing working in action. This truck is going to be a beast. These are bigger, more PSI pressure washers than I'm used to. Normally I run 3,500, 5.5 gallon per minute. I run the Pressure Pros or the Hydrotechs. This one is 4,000 PSI at 5 gallons per minute. So it's like a half a gallon less per minute, but it's 500 more PSI than I'm normally used to. It's going to pack a punch. I didn't put unloaders on these pressure washers on the big boys. Normally I do to help save the life of my fittings, my hoses, and everything else. I'm going to crank it up, or not crank it up, turn it on, and let's see how it runs and just see how much pack for punch it has. If it's got a lot of punch, then I will definitely put an unloader on here. Like the K7 unloader, it's called a soft startup. So when you squeeze the trigger, you don't have all that force jerking you. And if you get out there and you start doing this, like if you're doing overhead and you squeeze that trigger, it beats your joints up, your wrists, your shoulders. It wears you out. Young puppies can handle it. I'm not getting any younger. The older we get, the more you feel your joints hurting, especially after a long session of cleaning something. If you've been out on a job 8, 10, 12 hours, cleaning a shopping center or a parking garage or something like that, it beats you up. So with a K7 unloader, it's a soft start. So when you squeeze the trigger, it builds the pressure up real slow, and you don't have that hard jerk that beats the living crap out of you. So we'll see how it does when I start it up. You start doing all the preliminary checks on it and see if we got any leaks and everything else. And if it's real packs a punch, then most definitely I'll be installing a K7 on this thing. Suggestions. You can email me here. Oh, I never even said that. There's my phone number if you want to go live. I didn't even text it in there. My bad, guys. Most of you have my number that already follow me. Email is mark@ampw.co. So there's my email. If you got something that you want somebody to specialize talk about, let me know. I will be more than glad to find somebody local that's willing to come in and do a podcast. If I don't care what the topic is. If it's, anything, just give me a shout out, shoot me an email, text me, call me. I don't care. I will get the people in here and help you guys out with something that you may need help on. Like Terry Lynn right now, she says, do you guys have a trailer guy right down the street, Terry Lynn? So the trailer guy, Dalton is his name. So Dalton helps all of my customers out. When you call the trailer guy, it's called the Trailer Zone, not the trailer guy. So Terry Lynn, I'm going to share this file to you. And you call Dalton and say, hey, I'm one of Mark Sullins' customers, and you're looking for a trailer. You can tell him if you want a single axle, tandem axle. If you're putting a system in a trailer, Terry Lynn, I think I know where you're going with this. You're looking to add on maybe a pressure washer with a burner and all this other stuff. Get a tandem axle trailer. Get 2 axle. Don't get a single axle. I don't like single axle. If you have a blowout, that trailer will start going all over the place. With a tandem axle, you got one more set of rubber on that side that you had the blowout on or a flat tire on, and it can keep your trailer from going all over the place or losing your trailer. That's why I like tandem axle. Plus, you can add more weight to it. So I've got that right there, Terry Lynn. I'll send that out to you guys here in a little bit. So the Trailer Zone is the name of the company. They're right here in Wildemar, California. The Trailer Zone, you can ask for Dalton. I'll send that information out by text to Terry Lynn. Jennifer Pratt, I'll send you out Ulysses information for the insurance. I still can't remember what the heck I want to talk to you guys about. There's another topic I want to talk about. I want to talk about fire extinguisher safety. All right, Fernando, you have a good one. Be safe. I'll take care of you. So let me shut this door down before next person comes in. Yeah, we get trash trucks. We get neighbors coming home this time of day, and it gets loud. So I'll shut the door. I still can't remember what it was. Holy moly. Anyway, off to the next topic. Equipment. I've been doing how-to videos. I just did another how-to video on the Hudson float valve. One customer hooked, I think it was to a fire hydrant or it was to a high-pressure water source. So the little diaphragm inside the Hudson float valve, you've seen the how-to video. I just put it on my YouTube playlist, and I also put it on all of our social media. So when you take your top cap off your Hudson valve, you'll see that little clear diaphragm in there. When it gets too much pressure, it will lift up and burp out the diaphragm, and now it won't shut the water off. It's an easy fix. You just got to unscrew it, take the little black ring off top, put it back in the screw, put the ring on it, screw it back together. Your Hudson valve's back working again. Oh, let's see here. Terry Lynn. Where'd it go? Terry Lynn, when we get our hot water skid, we're going to need a trailer, so I'm trying to get my chickens in order. Well, if you talk to Dalton, Terry Lynn, and you do get the trailer, he will deliver it to me. And if you guys want the hot water system, you guys are family. So I will literally get everything installed. You bring down the skid, and if you want to put the skid at the rear end as well, all you got to do is just switch it over, and it's a done deal. We get everything plumbed in, make sure everything's up and going good, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So yeah, if you do something like that, I can really help you out and get everything done, and we'll keep it parked in here or over the other warehouse until you come pick it up. But when I text you Dalton's information, give him a call. All right, epic bargains. Marked pigeon nest under panels that don't want to budge. I blasted a poop for hours, and there's a tick on the moving nests that are caked underneath. You can unscrew the panel. Take your drill. Some of them have like a little nut driver on them, and you can lift those panels up to where you can manually get in there and clean those nests out. Once you get them all cleaned out, put the panels back in place and get your wand and wash everything out. Do not use your red tip underneath there. You have electrical under there. You have wiring. That red tip is a zero tip. You will damage the electrical wires under there. You will cut into them. So don't ever use a red tip to blast your panels out. Be very careful how you do that. Do you walk on the? No, I don't walk on the panels. You can. I've actually seen people lay blankets down and lay on them to put bird proofing on the edge of the house. I'm about a 220-pound guy. I'm not going to get on the panels. Even though I got insurance, I don't feel like filing an insurance claim or paying for a panel for somebody. My luck, I crack them and I'll break them. I do not walk on them and I do not lay on them. If you're putting bird proofing on the outside edge of a panel that's right at the edge of the roof, you better get you a long ladder. Get up there and do it with the ladder. That's my preference. I don't want to be hanging over the edge of the roof, laying on top of a solar panel trying to do the bird proofing. So we are getting hit up here. Do you walk on them? No. Remove the panels and get extended pole with a hook. Thank you, Terry Lynn. Nita Sullins. Hi, Jody in the background. Oh, Nita's talking to you, Jody. Thanks for the advice, Terry Lynn. Hey, Miss Anita. Oh, my God. Now we got the other Thelma and Louise. Anita, Terry Lynn, and Jennifer, the three amigos. Get those three on the podcast, and here we go. Love you, girls. which is still loca. What else we got? Trick. Epic bargain trick. Do you want the panels? Trick. I think I'm caught up on all the chat. I know another topic I'll talk about. Other day, it was like a couple of days ago. I forgot what it was. Henry had one of my customers, Juanito from Orlando, Florida, my homeboy. Henry had Juanito on there. Juan goes on talk shows, on radio shows, and he talks about his business and everything else. And Henry had him on his podcast, and there was somebody that was on there. We know who he is, and he is a very negative person. So he was trying to stir up some shit between me and Henry, and it ain't going to work, people. Everybody thinks something major happened. Nothing major happened. You heard Henry when he was on the podcast, or his last podcast, that he was going in a different direction to start, giving classes and teaching people and making a revenue that way. And the two old ball guys were all about, doing everything for free. I still do everything for free. I try to help everybody out the best I can. I've been doing this for many, many years, way before I knew Henry. But with Henry, the two old ball guys, we started doing the podcast, but Henry decided to go a different route and making a different source of income. And I didn't want to be counterproductive. He's trying to make an income on giving out information, and I'm over here making zero income offering free information. So Henry has more time to spend one-on-one with you. I don't. I mean, as you see, a lot of times when a customer comes pick up a skid, I'll talk to you and go over stuff with you. But then when it comes to class time, I let Jeff give all the classes. Jeff has a lot more time to be able to sit there and make sure you understand everything. Me, I kind of rush the class. That's why I do my how-to video. If you forget anything that I talked to you about or Jeff talks to you about, we have the how-to video from unboxing your skid, of how you set everything up, how you do everything on these skids, and that way you can go back and look at it. But yeah, with Henry, that guy was trying to stir some shit up, and I went on Henry's podcast, which I normally wouldn't do it, but I did with this one guy, and I called him out and let him know that, no, I'm not taking Henry's customers from me or clients from him. I don't do that. I sign non-competes all the time. I'm not that kind of person. I am a team player. Together, everyone achieves more. Everybody that knows me knows that. I do not steal from nobody. I bend over backwards to help people from the bottom of my heart, and I do it for free. So anybody out there that likes to try to stir up some shit between me and Henry, go for it, because it ain't going to get you nowhere. There's nothing to stir up. Me and Henry are fine. I just talked to him a while ago. We're working on some other stuff right now. Henry is getting more into sales. He is helping promote my business and some other people's business. Henry gets compensated by me. If he makes a sale, I pay him. I don't use nobody. Nobody does anything free for me. I make sure I take care of everybody. But to let everybody know, yes, me and Henry still talk. Yes, we're still friends, just doing two different things right now. Will Henry still come in and do podcasts? I'm sure he will when he's local. If he's in the area, he'll be more than glad to jump in. But as far as maybe asking some information from him that he's charging people for, you probably won't get it out of him. But as far as mine and Henry's relationship, we're still friends. So good try, Mr. San Diego. I know who you are. And, we know exactly who you are. But that's okay. You're a miserable person, and it ain't going to get nowhere with us. So I'll end that topic, and I won't bring it back up again. So get back to Epic Bargains. Do you welcome the panels? Remove the panels. I think it's just Terry Lynn and Anita talking to each other. Hello, girls. Oh, my goodness. Birded Monk on the on the topic of photo solar panels, how do you approach roof washing? Not sure the podcast you're mentioning, but glad you're staying positive. All right. Roof washing. California, we use hot water. You do have some people that are starting to convert over to soft wash systems. I have talked about this several times. On the East Coast, you have a lot of vinyl homes out there. So they started doing soft wash on vinyl homes to where they would do an injection downstream with either bleach or in peroxide, and they'll spray it on the vinyl siding, and then they'll come back and rinse it off. No scrubbing, no nothing. I use hot water. So using hot water will kill the algae and it cleans everything off. California, we have very little tar shingle roofs. Everything out here is clay tile. So you need to get in every nook and cranny and everything else. And I start from the very peak of the roof and I work my way down and I also get the edge on the overlap of each clay shingle. I use hot water. I put my hot water around 150, no more than 160 in temperature degrees. And I use hot water to clean it. We do it all the time. I've been doing it for years. If you go back and look at my videos, scroll until you find Pepperdine University. That one white building is a chapel. I've cleaned it 3 times. It gets like a black algae on it. The birds get on the steeples up on top and they pee and poop everywhere. And we come up there with hot water and clean it. Look how clean it is. I do not use chemicals. Why? Because you're putting bleach and peroxide on vegetation, in flower beds. It can get on furniture. If it runs down a storm drain, that's a $10,000 fine to you and the owner of the property. California is a different beast than back east. Back east, they don't stress about water going in the ocean like they do out here. So to answer Verdi Monk, no, I don't do a soft wash. I do hot water. It's not hard to do, and it saves you money on chemicals, and you can give a better, cheaper rate because you're not charging the customer the back cost for all the chemicals. So all you're running is your burner that burns diesel, and then you're running the hot water. So you can save some money on chemicals. Now that people are seeing the soft wash, bleach has really gone up because people are buying it by the cases, and so they've raised the price on it. So hot wash system. So Verdi Monk, you see my number on, I tapped it in a little earlier, my phone number. I don't know if you're one of my customers now or not, but give me a shout out, give me a call. My email's in there, my phone number's in there. Go back into the chat and you'll see it. If you want to give me a call tomorrow or call me this evening after the podcast, I'll be more than glad to talk to you about it. What else we got going on? I think Jody's waiting on me. Yep. So Jody wants me. Oh shit, I don't know what he wants me for. What'd you do? Oh, which ones? No, the pumps on the burners. It's just a switch out here. Yeah, as long as you wire it into that one box, everything runs together. Oh shit, I don't know what they. It's all supposed to be running together. Yeah. Jody won't come over here and talk. I'm in sunny Central Florida. Right on. So you can do the same thing down there in sunny Central Florida, Verdi Monk. Out here in California on Oceanside, I clean a lot of homes hanging off of bluffs right next to the ocean, multi-million-dollar homes that get black algae all over them. There's one community down by San Clemente. When you pull in that gate, them homes are $5 million and up. And every single roof is black from black algae. I don't think I ever posted the pictures of one of the homes that I cleaned down there that's a contemporary home. Everything's flat roof, flat gravel roof, all square looking home. But it was a 3-story home and it was white. Everything was white, a lot of black algae. So you got to get every nook and cranny and clean everything. But yeah, give me a call anytime, Verdi Monk, and I'll be more than glad to talk to you. I don't know if you're one of my customers if we talk, but yeah, call me anytime. Here, I'll put my number in again. Let's see, 951-440-9063. There you go. There's my number. What else we got going on here besides Jody needing my help? You found it? Okay. Trying to think something else to talk to you. It's always nice when I got somebody sitting here next to me. I can turn to them. We can pull something out of our butt and talk about it. Trucks. Got one customer down in Louisiana that's talking to me about the Sunbrush. The problem that I'm having right now is trucks. I was literally supposed to go pick up my truck tomorrow. We keep doing numbers on that way. If we get pulled over by the CHP or the mainly the CHP, if they pull us over, that way we're legal and we're not overweight and everything else. That skid steer weighs 12,000 pounds. The Sunbrush weighs 1,800 pounds. The bed is going to weigh probably about 2,000 pounds. And then the trailer is going to have about 500 pounds tongue weight that's going to be pressing down on the rear of the truck as well. So the truck that I want to use that's small and easy to drive in the fields and everything else is not going to happen. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm going to do as far as a truck to be able to pull the trailer and haul the tractor. I want to keep a 2-man team on the system and not have to drive multiple pieces of equipment. And I'm going to do it, but it's going to take a little bit bigger of a truck. I'm working on it right now. I got to work on it some more tomorrow. I'm probably going to be out running around, going to a few dealerships and looking at some. But that's the dilemma right now. I thought that was going to be the easy part. Literally, when I started building this, I had another one of these trucks, the NPR HD, identical to this that I was going to build. Well, this truck's not rated enough. So it's going to take a bigger truck to be able to haul that tractor and pull the trailer at the same time. So a Zuzu, love my guys at Freeway Zuzu in Corona, California. Love them, but it ain't going to work. So I'm back to square one again, and I got to figure out a truck, and hopefully I can find one and not have to wait months for it. But to be continued. We'll see what happens. Other than that, anybody else got anything you want to talk about? Put it in the chat box because it's 10 to 4, and I'm about to tune out of here because Mr. Jody is waiting on me. And I guess he needs some love from me. He needs a little bit of my attention. He just sits back there and laughs. So, well, guys, Jennifer, I'm going to send you over Ulysses' contact information right now. So give Ulysses a call and tell him you're one of my customers, and he'll definitely take care of you. Terry Lynn, you call Dalton at the Trailer Zone, and Dalton will take care of you and give you a good deal. And you can buy it over the phone, and he'll literally bring it to me with all your paperwork and everything else. And then we can figure out the pressure washer. I'll talk to you and Jeff on the phone and find out how you want it mounted, how you want to run the exhaust for the burner and all that kind of stuff. So not a big deal. We can get that figured out for you guys. You're welcome, Jennifer. So everybody else, I'm going to cut it a little short today. I will have some guests in next week. But if you guys need anything, Jody is an electrician. Oh, I don't know if Jody wants me to offer your services.
I'm busy at the moment.
Would you like some extra services, customers?
Probably.
So I won't say who he works for, but Jody is a head honcho for a big company. He is their head electrician, but he happens to be my neighbor, and I'm his number one pain in the ass. So whenever I have anything that needs to be wired in the shop and now trucks, I call Jody. So he feels sorry for me, and he comes over here in his time off and works on my equipment or works on my shop or my home. My mother-in-law, she's 99 years old, and that's her boyfriend. So when she calls him, she gets the work done for free. I don't know. I just don't have the right tools. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for tuning in today. Sorry that my guest, couldn't make it today, but it was a personal issue. Couldn't do it. And Kevin Eubanks, I love you. Throwing your piece up there. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back next Wednesday, 3 o'clock, same time, same place. And love you guys. Everybody have a great day. Peace.
Thank you for joining our podcast today. Hope the knowledge we passed on to you helped. Please tune in next week for a brand new show and surprise guest. From AM Pressure Washing and your host, Mark Sullins, have a great day and be safe.